ladybug and the leaf are living things. Each meets its needs in different ways. The structures inside the ladybug and the leaf have similarities and differences. Types of living things. Characteristics of living things. Page 28. Plants. Page 34. Animals. Page 42.
Characteristics of living things. There are millions of different kinds of organisms on Earth. Organism is another word for a living thing. All organisms share certain characteristics in order to be considered alive. They are all made of cells. They all have basic needs. They all reproduce, grow, and develop. They all respond to their surroundings. Living things are made of cells. All organisms are made of small building blocks called cells. Cells carry out basic life processes, such as converting food into energy and getting rid of waste materials. An organism can be one cell or can be made of many cells. Living things have basic needs. Every living thing has basic needs. They all need water, food, air, and shelter. Organisms cannot survive unless these needs are met. Water. All organisms need water in order for them to function. Water moves materials through an organism, whether it is a single cell or an organism with many cells. Water also helps remove wastes produced by cell activities. Food. All organisms need a source of energy to live. Organisms get energy from food. Animals must eat to get energy. Plants can make their own food. Gases. Most living things need oxygen, a gas found in air and in water. Oxygen is needed to release the energy stored in food. Plants also need another gas, carbon dioxide. Shelter. Shelter protects animals from harsh conditions and weather. Shelter also protects animals from predators. Food provides energy for living things. Living things reproduce. All organisms reproduce or make more of their own kind. The survival of a species depends on its ability to produce offspring, the young of living organisms. Through reproduction, genetic material is transferred from parent to offspring. The genetic material gives offspring specific traits and controls how the offspring will look, grow, and develop. Many multicelled organisms require two parents to reproduce. Some organisms can make exact copies of themselves and can reproduce without the need of two parents. Each parent contributes one special cell. Those two cells combine to form a single new cell. This cell grows into a new organism with characteristics from both parents. Living things grow and develop. Growth is the process of becoming larger. Development is the process of change that occurs during an organism's life. Organisms have life cycles that involve changes in their size, shape, ability to move, and feeding behavior. As organisms grow and develop, they use energy to make new cells. Living things respond to their surroundings. All organisms react to changes in their environment. The change that causes the reaction is called a stimulus. The reaction or change in behavior of an organism is a response. Sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and the things that animals sense through touch are stimuli. Gravity, water, and light are three stimuli that plants respond to. Did you know? After the female emperor penguin lays a single egg, the male penguin keeps the egg warm between his feet until it hatches. These actions help the penguins successfully reproduce. The nervous system. Humans have many systems that help control what we do, how we move, and what we think and feel. For example, all of the bones in our body make up the skeletal system. The muscles that cover our bones make up the muscular system. Together, these two systems control every movement we make, from raising our hand to running a race. But how are these movements controlled? They are controlled by another body system called the nervous system. Messages are sent from the brain to different parts of the body through nerve cells or neurons. The job of the nervous system is to send and receive messages that control all of the body's many functions. The nervous system is made of two parts. One part is called the central nervous system. It is made up of the brain and spinal cord. Both parts are protected by bone. The skull protects the brain, and the spinal cord is protected by a number of smaller bone structures that make up the vertebral column or spine. The other part of the nervous system is called the peripheral nervous system. It is made of the many nerves or neurons that connect the central nervous system to other parts of the body. The body responds in different ways to stimuli. A reflex is a quick reaction that occurs without waiting for a message to be sent from neurons to the brain. For example, touching something hot causes the hand to quickly pull away. No conscious thought is involved in this response. Instead, this reflex is an action controlled by neurons in the spinal cord. The body responds to external stimuli with neurons. There are three kinds of neurons: sensory, associative, and motor. Each type of neuron does a different job in response to stimuli. Sensory neurons receive stimuli from your body and the environment. Associative neurons connect the sensory neurons to the motor neurons. Motor neurons carry signals from the central nervous system to different parts of the body. Nerve response: skin, then impulse, then sensory neuron, then associative neuron, then impulse, then motor neuron, then impulse, then muscle. Memory storage. The brain does more than just send messages to different parts of the body. It also helps us acquire, store, and retrieve memories. Memories include past experiences, and also the information and knowledge you gain from your studies in school and elsewhere. Memories start with having an experience. The sensations and stimuli of the event are changed into tiny pulses of electrical energy that move along the neurons in the central nervous system. Short-term memory. As you first have an experience, the information is stored in an area in the front of the brain and can be remembered and recalled for a relatively short period of time. This is called short-term memory. This short-term memory might last a few seconds or a few minutes. When you try to remember a phone number, for example, you might remember it in your short-term memory only for a short time unless you write it down and refer to it later. Phone numbers that you use often are more easily remembered. Long-term memory. Some short-term memories are then changed into long-term memories as the stimuli are moved to an area deeper in the brain called the hippocampus. This is the same area of the brain that controls emotions and recognizes spaces and their relation to us. For example, the hippocampus helps you take the same route home without thinking about it much. The prefrontal cortex is where short-term memories are formed. The hippocampus is where long-term memories are stored. Recalling details. Of course, long-term memories can become more complex. You might remember something you did on summer vacation years ago because of your long-term memory. Hearing the roar of ocean waves or smelling the ocean air might also make your brain retrieve those vacation memories. Long-term memories also help us when we need to recall where we put the boots we used last winter. Working memory. Our brains must retrieve memories all the time, even when it is not from our short-term or long-term memory. Our working memory involves the information you might need to count the change in your pocket or read a street sign. The information you learn at school can become part of your working memory. It can help you do more complex tasks. Memories in other animals. Humans are not the only animals that use and rely on their memories for basic tasks. Most animals rely on memory in some way. Information that animals store about their environment can help them to later find food, build a home, or migrate. Some mammals have been observed using working memory by using tools to find and get food. Other animals can even show that they miss a dead family member. Elephants have been shown to have remarkable long-term memories. Young elephants have a lot to learn in order to survive, and a lot to remember as they grow older.